Okay, so this is our lecture number 1, and the subject is HRM, Human Resource Management. So what are your views? What do you think we're going to be studying in this course?
Ma'am, human resource management is it's actually a company or organization. They help they help their business gain competitive advantage. Like it is designed to maximize employee performance in a service or employers' strategic objectives.
Yeah, so you're right. So HRM is basically a way that you use the human resource, meaning the labor, to make products in your organization, or if it's a service, so you as an employee become a part of a organization to provide to the clients or your customers. So basically, if we go to the basic definition, so it means the practice of recruiting, hiring, deploying, and managing an organization's employees. So, first, we're going to obviously, when we need a job, we go for an interview. After that, the candidates are shortlisted. Then, you get an interview call, uh, you know, um, um, sorry, not an interview call, you get a call, and then you are appointed for that job. And after you go to the organization, that they tell you that you have to, these are your duties and you have to perform these tasks. And sometime when the employee is new, they give you trainings and workshops to help you understand your job more easily. So HRM is an employee management. It is basically an employee management, and how, as a business, these employees become our assets. So, employees or human resource people, these are also referred to as human capital. So we have invested in these people, and when they perform effectively and efficiently, then obviously we're going to have a high return on investment. So, for example, they say that most managers deal with compensation or motivation and retention of employees. Compensation means that they're going to provide them with basic commission or bonus. Then we have motivation. So motivation could be by talking to them through words. And then retention means to keep them in the business. So your employee might want to leave your business, maybe because you're not nice to them, or maybe because they are getting a better package deal in some other business. So HR managers also has to retain your employees in the business as well. So this was our course outline. We had to understand the context and role of HRM, define HRM. We've done that. Analyze the context, role, and objectives of HRM. We're going to be doing that, and then we'll analyze the influences on the development of HRM as theory and management functions. So we're going to be doing that. So coming towards 1.2, it says to analyze the context. So the context is very important, you can see, in making sense of what is happening at the workplace in order to provide relevant solutions. So obviously every organization will be having different different situations, and according to those situations they will have to find relevant solutions. So this is what basically context means. Then there have been growing calls for more attention to context in management research. So it wasn't previously, in the old times, people weren't aware about that. So what they did was they applied the same thing in every organization, same theory in every organization. But now, as awareness is increasing, people are getting to understand the emotional psychology, the behavioral psychology of their employees. So they now understand that every organization has a different context. Then coming towards the role of HRM. So we keep in mind that there are many functions of HRM, also tasks other department managers have to perform, so in which it makes this information very important despite the career path that we take. So most experts, they mainly agree on the 7 main roles, but we have included a little more as well. So the first one is staffing. This is the main role. So staffing means that when you need people to perform tasks and get work done in an organization, it is as simple as that. Even if you have like the most sophisticated machines, humans are still needed in an organization. Because of this, one of the major tasks is in HRM is staffing. So you have to employ people in the organization. So staffing involves hiring process from, first you post a job, then you will negotiate a salary package, you will have an interview, and so on. So within staffing function, we have the main 4 steps that are mentioned on the slide. The first one is development of the staffing plan. So this plan allows HRM to see how many people they should hire and on what revenue expectations they have. So we see that how much people, for example, we want to hire 10 people or we want to hire 2 people, so we'll see that how much salary would they require. Obviously, if there are 10 people, we'll have a budget, for example, and then we'll have to divide that budget among those people. If it's 10, then obviously we'll have less money will be going to each person. However, if we have 2, then it depends on the position they are on. If they're internees, then obviously less money. If they're on senior manager level, then obviously more money. Then second point is development of policies to encourage multiculturalism at work. So, multiculturalism in the workplace is becoming more and more important as globalization is increasing. So, as we have many more people from variety of backgrounds in our workforce, so there are different policies made for each, culture. Then we have recruitment. So, this means that it involves finding the people to fill the open positions that we have posted online or in the newspaper. And then we have selection. In this stage, people will be interviewed, they will be selected, and a proper compensation package will be negotiated. And after that, it will be followed by training, then retention, and then the motivation. Then second point we have is development of workplace policies. So every organization has policies to ensure fairness in the organization. So HRM management helps to keep all these departments running smoothly. So everything they need to do to involve all those departments properly, they have to follow a few things. Like the first one is discipline process policy. So there should be discipline. Then we have vacation time policy. If we want to give like 12 days a year holiday vacation, so that is what we'll have to decide. Then we should have a proper dress code, that what is allowed to wear for the employees. Then we have ethics policy, that you have to be nice to everyone, you have to be truthful to your boss and truthful to the company. And then we have the internet usage policy. So I wasn't aware of this, but when I was making the slides and doing the research, then I got to know this for the first time, that there is internet usage policy as well in an organization. Did you know about that? Because I didn't.
Yes, ma'am. I'm having some kind of idea because when I worked in Formula One, which we had in March 2022, this year only, so they like we used to have Wi-Fi. Like for example, they used to monitor us. Our supervisors used to monitor us. For that, we needed Wi-Fi. So in order, they were having an eye on us, like our movement and everything. Like our phone was like on our communication. Like
Okay.
our mobile phones were
Hmm.
like was
Being monitored.
like yeah, they were monitoring our locations actually.
Okay, okay. I see. That's good that you already know about this. Then we have compensation and benefits administration. So we can talk about the pay, the health benefits, the retirement plans, the vacation time, sick leave, bonuses. All of these things are also, the HR has to come up with these. Then we talk about retention. So retention means that we have to keep motivating our employees so they stay in our organization and they don't leave our organization. So like issues regarding that, how they are performing, any challenges that the subordinates might be facing with the manager, HR has to look into that. Then we have to look at the company culture and so on. So this is how you retain the employees, that you motivate them and you give them incentives so they don't leave. Then we have training and development. So obviously, when you're coming into an organization, especially if you're a fresh graduate, so obviously you'll have to be trained. So they will train you for your skills, for your communication, for team building activities, and so on. So they will also train you for sexual harassment training. There will be legal training. There will be ethics training, how you have to deal with the people in the organization. So these come under this. Then we have dealing with laws affecting employment. So we could have discrimination laws, we could have labor laws, work safety laws. So all the laws that we have also discussed above, they also come into this, and these could be laws and policies relating to the company, and also the legal laws and policies that are imposed by the government for each and every organization. Then we have worker protection. So you have to take care of the workers' environment. So if there is any chemical hazards or any heating, ventilation requirements, if they're required, and protection of the employees. Like for example, when COVID came, we all had to use PEE suits, gloves, masks, sanitizers, everything. So you need to protect the workers as well. Or for example, if those persons are working in a coal mine, so obviously you have to provide them with proper gear. Then we have communication. Okay, so obviously communication, you as a manager, as the HR department, you need to have good communication skills, and you need to make the other person, your subordinates, your employees, understand what you're trying to say. So so if your communication is obviously good and it's effective, then obviously your productivity in the organization will increase. And then we have awareness of external factors. The HR needs to consider all the outside factors that may play a part to affect the organization. So globalization can affect your organization. Changes to employment laws can affect the organization. Healthcare costs, diversity of the workforce, that also plays a role in the in the it, like it could affect the organization. Then we have layoffs and downsizing, like we did in COVID. We had to fire a lot of people. Then technology could also be that one, that we see that how technology is replacing humans. So these are all the the roles of HRM that they have to see. So now we're going to be talking about the objectives of HRM. So the first one is to achieve organizational goals. So obviously, every business has, a motive to earn profit. So that is one of the main organizational goals. You could also have another goal that could be expansion, that could be growth, that could be to lead the market share, and so on. Then we have the work culture. So work culture plays also an important role in defining the HRM and the business performance. And as a HR manager, you need to be active while you're calling for strategies so you can have a better work culture. So like you could empower your employees, you could have a positive vibes in your workforce, and you could have transparent relations with your employees. Then we have uh, team integration. So team integration means that there is the team is effectively communicating, and there is easy communication, and you have to ensure that there is proper, like everyone is being respected and everyone is working together. Then we have training and development. We have discussed this. Then we have employee motivation. We all know what it is. So we have to keep their morals high. So there is retention rate, and the productivity is high. So obviously, if your employee is happy, then your organization will be happy as well. Then we have workforce empowerment. So obviously, we as HR, we need to give duties and responsibilities to the employees as well, so that they can feel more empowered and they can feel that okay, we have a responsibility as well. Then we have retention, we have discussed that too, and then we have data and compliance. So over here, you know for example, we have to take care of all the data that is being recorded by the company, and managing payroll compliances and keeping the company out of any penalties or fines, or huge challenge for the age it is a huge challenge for the people of HR. So whenever a company has to do a bad deed or a good deed or whatever, so what they do is they have the HR persons with them. Like if they want to do a fraud or something like that, so what will they do? They will make their team a part of HR. So because HR person is the most important, and he or she has to like hire the proper people and so on. So and these are all the points, and these are the organizational objectives. Okay, so moving on to the theories. So analyze the influence on the development of HRM as a theory and management function. So these are a few theories. The first one is human capital theory. So it is important. This theory says that it is important to invest in human capital, as it is one of the most important aspect of the business. And then we have agency theory. So agency theory says that for example, we have to resolve if is any problem between the business and their agent. So agent means that their shareholders, their stakeholders, the company's executives and so on. So this theory states that the company has to resolve the issues. Then we have AMO theory. So AMO means ability, motivation, and opportunities. So this theory suggests that there are three independent work system components that shape the employee's characteristics. So according to the theory, organizational interests are best served by the system that attends to the employees' ability, motivation, and opportunity. So it says that we have to take care of the employees' ability, we have to motivate them, and we have to give them opportunities to excel. And it says that because of that, your company would be successful. Then we have institutional theory. So this provides like a strong framework through which we understand that every that the HR practices are the result of a rational decisions. So like they are based on making organizational goals, and that some are a reflection of the outside influence. So it is saying that we whatever is it whatever is happening in our organization, it is also affected by the outside forces, by the environment, by the social structure of that thing as well. Then we have leader member exchange theory and organizational behavior, LMX. So this theory suggests that the leaders and the followers, they develop a special and a unique relationship, and that is why the quality of the work might get better or it could get worse. So the leader member relationship could be bad or it could be worse. So if it is good, then obviously the organization will get a benefit, and if it is bad, then obviously the employees won't be very happy with their leader, and everything is going to go down the drain. Then we have resource based theory, path to competitive advantage. So this argues that the innovations achieve sustainable competitive advantage. So it says that that we know this is a economics concept that resources are limited. So obviously, if those resources are limited, and as a company, I have those resources in abundant quantity, so obviously my company would have a competitive advantage, and when I will have a competitive advantage, I can take over the market and get the market share and become the market leader. Then we have organizational behavior theory in business. So this means that it talks about that why humans behave the way they do in the working environment. So these are all the theories that are for HRM. Then we have functions of HRM. So we could see they have job design and job analysis, employee hiring and selection, employee training development, compensation benefits, employee performance management, how they're performing in organization, managerial relations, like we discussed LMX theory, like how are their relations. Then we have labor relations, how's managers relations with labor and how's labor relationship with managers. Then we have employee engagement and communication, health and safety regulation, personal support for employee succession planning. Succession planning means when you need to promote someone. And then we have industrial relations. So these are all the functions of HRM. Moving on to unit number 2. So are there any questions in unit 1 till now? If there are, you guys can ask. If there are not, you can uh, type in the chat box maybe, or you could even open your mic and you can tell me like that as well. So it's up to you. So now coming towards unit number 2. So over here we have to evaluate the interface between HRM and strategic management, analyze the models of strategic HRM, and evaluate the extent to which strategic HRM influences business performance. Okay, so evaluate the interface between these. So here we have an article which we'll just go through. Okay, so this is relationship between strategic management and human resource management. So this is an article, and you guys can go through it. So basically, it talks about that strategic management, it deals with people and how the interventions and how consumers or customers behave and how we can promote competitive advantage. So these are a few things that strategic management deals with. So basically what happens is that in strategic management we come up with strategies, that what strategies a business has to follow. So they could be like top level strategies, then we have middle level, and then we have low level strategies. So this article is about that. And it says the function of human resource management strategies when adopting their HR practices, organization must take into the account interest of fit between these firm strategy and practices. As a result, the main goals of strategic HRM is to make sure that HRM is aligned with the strategic needs of the organization. So now what we do, strategic management was separate, HRM management was separate. Now what we're doing, we're combining them both and we're making it into a strategic model. So basically what happens is that a strategic model is like a plan to manage a company's human capital, such as their employees, and it aligns its strategies with those of the business, and it provides a kind of a direction to hire talent, to appraise performance, to determine compensation, all the things that we have discussed in the above slide. So it's the same thing. So what did you understand?
So basically, I mean, HRM help like management, to like, you know, to like work on the organization's goals more like more like strict more like strategically.
Basically, what we have to do is that uh, we read about HRM, what it is, then we read about what strategic management is. We discussed both, and then we looked at how both of them work together. So it performs a like a strategic model. So it's like a model, a strategic model, which helps to manage the human capital, which are our employees in the organization. So what happens is that this model, it provides a direction to hire new employees, appraise a performance for those employees. We can determine their compensation. So all of these things that the HR manager or the HR department has to do. So this model, the HR model, it helps them understand how to do these tasks efficiently. So models, they are typically like long-term plans, that take time to develop and implement. And an ideal model can have these strategies to work. So the first one is analyze the roles and responsibilities of the human resources. So your employees should know what they have to do, your managers should know what they have to do. So everyone should be aware about their roles and responsibilities and to whom they are accountable for. Then we have deploy human resources efficiently. So whatever we're using, okay, so over here we're talking about only the human resource, so only the employees. So they have to be placed in the organization efficiently and effectively. So I can use the employee who is in the HR. He should be placed in the HR, not in the sales department. So we should put all the employees in their proper places. And this is the duty of HR, that they have to define where a specific employee has to work. Then we have base judgments on expert knowledge. So whatever strategies we are performing, we have to make or defining, we have to have proper judgments on that. We have to have proper knowledge on that. We will see that, okay, what are the market trends? What is the latest technology related to HR, or what is the latest trends in the market. So we're going to base judgments according to that and then make our model or our strategy. Then we have synchronized behaviors with goals. So obviously, synchronize, it means to like come together to have a smooth flow, to a kind of collaborate. So what will happen, that we want the employees to understand the goals of the organization, to understand those strategies, so that their behavior is not resistant towards it. Then we have improve through revision, review and revision. So whatever strategy we have made, we are going to review it like after every 2 months, every 3 months, every 6 months, or so on. And then if any improvement is needed, then we will revise that strategy. Then coming towards the models of HRM. So there are four main models. So the first one is the Faubourg, Tichy, and Divana model. So this model, this is a very old model, and it came in 1984. So this emphasizes that there are just four functions in the model. So you can see over here, the first one is selection, then appraisal, then we have development, and then we have reports. And all of these together, they lead to organizational effectiveness. So these four components of the HRM, they are expected to contribute to organizational effectiveness according to this model. However, as new scholars and new people were coming in, they said that this model is incomplete because it only focuses on the four functions of HRM, and it ignores all the other environmental factors that can have an effect on the HR. So they say that no, this is not a proper model, we have to expand it a little bit. Then we have the Harvard model. So this model, it claims to be a little more comprehensive, and it seeks to show you almost six of your components, and it talks about the dimensions of the stakeholders. Then it talks about the situational factors, then your HRM policies, your outcomes, and your long-term consequences. Sorry, five of your uh, components it looks at. So you could see that in shareholders' interest, they talk about that. Um, when there's an organization, people, the shareholders are interested in the organization. The shareholders mean the people who have invested in the company. Then the management, who is in charge of the company. Then the employees. Then you government, because obviously it helps you to regulate laws and policies. And then your community, the people all around, like also the people who are employed can be from your community. So it says that these people are important and we have to take care of their interests. Then it talks about the situational factors. So situational factors could be workforce characteristics, your business strategy and conditions, your management philosophy, that how it wants to work, what is their direction, their mission, their vision, the labor market. So these are all the factors that are internal and external. So the labor market could also affect your model. Then we have unions. So trade unions, these are like employee groups, and they negotiate with the management to maybe raise your pays or salaries, or if there is any problem in the working condition of the environment in the organization. So these trade unions, they basically take up the problems of the employees to the management. Then we have tasks or technology. Obviously, technology is coming, so this is also a situational factor, because people have everything is coming automated, so people are being downsized. Then we have law and societal values. So obviously, the government has set some laws, and there are societal values. So if you're working in a Muslim country, so there are specific values over there. You can't just open any company or organization that you want. Then we have HRM policies. So over here, employees can influence the HRM policies. Okay. Then we have HR, human resource flow, that how the employees, they are working in a flow, in a smooth system. Then we have reward system, obviously commission and bonuses, and we have the work systems, your salaries and your wages. Then we have HRM outcomes, commitment. So when you integrate all of these things, you get commitment. If all of these things are good, they are going excellent, and everyone is doing their job, employees are working, managers are fair with the employees, so what will happen, there will be commitment, there will be competence, the employee will be more motivated to work, there will be congruence means that everything will be run smoothly. Then we have cost effectiveness. It means that obviously there will be higher productivity, so our cost will obviously get lower by time. Then we have at the end long term consequences. I don't know why they've written consequences. This won't be the consequence. This would be our long term outcome. So individual well-being. So obviously, if everything is going good, there's commitment, there's competence, the individual will grow better. They will now have motivation that yes, I can do this, and they can opt for other jobs as well. Then we have organizational effectiveness, societal wealth. Organizational effectiveness, okay, so organizational effectiveness would increase. Obviously our productivity is increasing, our sales will increase, our profits will increase. And then we have societal well-being, that obviously you're giving jobs to people. So what will happen, the society will be more people will be employed, more people will have jobs, more people will be willing to spend, increase in demand, and so on. So this is the Howard model. Then we come towards the guest model. So this is another human resource model, and uh, here it is. This was developed by David Guest in 1997. So this is comparatively a newer model than the first one, and it claims to be much, superior to the other models. So this model claims that the HR manager has like specific strategies to begin with, which like demand certain practices, and when they are executed, there will be certain outcomes. So these outcomes include behaviors, performance, and financial reports. So the model emphasizes the logical sequence of our components. So we have our HR interests, we have our HR management, our HR outcomes, and we can see that we have discussed this. This is the same thing. HR, stakeholder interests, these are the same. Then we have human management policies, these are the same. Then we have human resource outcomes, these are the same. Then we have long-term outcomes, these are the same. And then we have the extra thing that we have added over here are the, okay, no, this is the situational factors, that is also the same. So it says that it continued the previous model, and it said that all of these things are related to the outcome of the employee. So if there is going to be commitment, there's going to be quality, there's going to be flexibility. So it all depends on the behavior of the employee. So this is like more of a it talks about in terms of the behavioral model of a employee. However, they have also mentioned a disadvantage, that is that this model is uh, complex, uh, a complex model than the others. So it so we're going to move on to the next model. So obviously, we could see that the first model had a problem, then it moved on to the second. Then the second had a problem, then they had to move on to the third model. Then third had a problem, and now we're going to move on the fourth model, which is the latest of all. So the fourth model is the Warwick model. So this model was developed by two researchers, Henry and Pettigrew, and they were from the University of Warwick. And you can see that the model is given the same name as well. So like all the other HR models, the Warwick proposition, it centers around 5 elements. So first is the outer context. Over here, we can see the macro environmental forces. Then we have the inner context. These are like the micro environmental forces. Then we have business strategy, that are all the strategies related. And then we have HRM context. There are two HRM contexts. So now the Warwick model, it takes all the knowledge of the business strategies and HR practices from the previous model, from all the previous models. Like over here also, it is also the same things which are coming from the previous models. And over here, the process changes by including interactions between both the context and the content. So you could see that these are the contexts, and the last one is the content. So the strength of the model, it identifies and classifies important environmental influences on HRM. So we could see the outer context. It talks about socio-economic, what is happening in the economy, how the economy is working. Then we have technical issues that are in the society. Then political and legal. Maybe there are some political problems. Then we have competitive market. So all of these things are the factors that are outside the organization. So all of these are the external factors, and it shows us that how the human resource management has to adapt to all these changes. So obviously, those organizations which are achieving alignment between external and internal context will achieve the most performance and growth. So what they say is that we have to take care of all these internal factors, and we have to align it with the external factor. When we are able to do that, when a company is able to do that, then we get the most performance and growth through our model. So these are all the models till here. Okay, so coming on to 2.3, evaluate the extent to which strategic HRM influences business performance. So obviously over here we talked about that how through these models we can, be able to build our strategies and how we can achieve the performance. Over here now we're going to discuss how actually we are going to, reach and go into the direction of that performance. So there is another role of strategic HRM management, and it like focuses on the management of the employees. Like they think that if our employees are, efficient and good, then they can become our competitive advantage. So now that organizations are like more aware of how successful human resource policies and practices can be, so they can increase performance in various areas like productivity, their quality, and financial performance. So performance management is like a planned process in which key activities are different measurement like feedback, there's positive reinforcement, there's motivation from the managers and so on. So it has to do like strategic HRM has to deal with inputs and values. So inputs can be all your knowledge and skills and behaviors that we discussed before. Then performance management strategy has to deal with the business and not just the managers. So managers are not only responsible for delivering the required performance. The managers should have the confidence to distribute authority and responsibility to their employees, in a sense that the managers need to like collaborate and consider their employees part of uh, as part of their own people. So managers can, what they can do is that they can then create teams, and they could be responsible for the results. So performance management processes are becoming more common nowadays in all organizations. And what organizations should do, that they should help managers and employees to work together. So performance management strategy, what these help you to focus on continuous and flexible processes, and it works best when worked as a team to get the required results. So strategic human resource management may bring a number of benefits to the organization, and the first one is contribute to the goal accomplishment and survival of the company. So we can see that when we have to, make a goal and then we have to achieve that goal, what we can do is we can help the company to survive. Then we have supporting and successfully implementing business strategies of the company. So obviously you're going to make performance management strategy as well, but you're also going to have business strategies side by side as well. Then we have creating and maintaining a competitive advantage for the company. Like we discussed in the start, that our employees, we have to treat our employees as a competitive advantage. We have to make them that good that they become our competitive advantage. Then we have improving responsiveness in innovation potential of the company. So improving your responsiveness means that you have to be up to date. You have to decrease the time to market. Then we have increasing number of feasible strategic options available to the company. So you have to have proper positions for proper employees. So if there's an employee who you think can do more, then you have to help them uh, you know uh, open more positions and be available. Like if you have 10 members in your organization, however you find a new member that is also um, very good, so you could add one more as well just so you can benefit your business. Then we have participating in strategic planning and influencing the strategic direction of the company as equally entitled member of top management. So it's the saying that you're participating in everything and you get a sense of direction. And improving cooperation between HRM department and the managers, meaning that departments and managers and employees all should be improving cooperation so they could work better and together. So this is a video that we're going to play.
Working in human resources definitely isn't a glamorous role. When I tell HR even do all day, unlike your developers that have great programming skills or your salespeople that generate revenue for the company with their great persuasion skills, or even your accountants that have to deal with financial reports all day, the HR profile does seem like a piece of cake. What special skills does a HR person even have? Isn't it just an administrative job? The thing is, every company needs its people to maintain productivity and drive growth. What they don't realize is that HR is the foundation that leads to that growth. Here are the 7 elements of HR. And it all starts with recruitment and selection. People are the lifeblood of the organization, and finding the best fits is a key task. What HR does is a long process here. They screen through hundreds of resumes each day, conduct interviews, prepare salary proposals, and spend a large amount of their time reaching out to people just so that you can get a new colleague at work. At any one point in time, your HR may be handling recruitment for 20 new positions. And for each position, they can receive an average of about 20 resumes. This gives them a total of 400 to sift through every week. Wonder why your HR recruiter forgets to reply you sometimes? Well, I hope this explains it. Once employees are on board, performance management becomes important. It involves helping people to become their best selves at work. Usually, companies work with an annual performance management cycle, which involves planning, monitoring, reviewing, and rewarding employee performance. The outcome of this process enables the categorization of employees in high versus low performers and high versus low potentials. This enables an organization to identify which individuals to focus training on or promote, and which individuals they need to let go of. Learning and development ensures that employees adapt to changes in processes, technology, and societal or legal shifts. Based on people's performance and potential ratings, HR works together with managers to advise on different development plans. reskilling and upskilling employees will help the organization in its long-term goals. Succession planning is the process of planning a pipeline of talent in case any key employees leave the company. If, for example, a crucial senior manager quits his or her job, having a replacement ready will guarantee continuity and save the company significant money. Compensation and benefits. One of the fundamentals of human resource management concerning pay is ensuring equity and fairness. Making the right offer of pay is a key part of attracting the best talent. This must be balanced with the budget and profit margins of the company. The Com and Ben team puts in hours of work, ensuring that salary offers remain competitive. They monitor pay increases in the market and set standards of merit. The Human Resource Information System is a system that supports all the cornerstones we have discussed so far. For example, for recruitment and selection, HR often uses an applicant tracking system to keep track of applicants and hires. For performance management, a performance management system is used to keep track of individual goals and to put in performance ratings. In learning and development, a learning management system is used for the distribution of content internally, and other HR systems are used to keep track of budgets and training approvals. Compensation specialists often use a payroll system, and there are also digital tools that enable effective succession planning. All these functionalities can often be done in one single system, the HRIS. HR data and analytics. An easy way to keep track of critical data is through HR metrics or HR KPIs. This reporting focuses on the current and past state of the organization. Using HR analytics, HR can make predictions. Examples include workforce needs, employee turnover intention, the impact of the candidate experience on customer satisfaction, and many others. By actively measuring and looking at this data, HR can make more data-driven decisions that are often more objective. This makes it easier to find management support for these decisions. In conclusion, HR isn't just about recruitment and hiring, which is the part that is the most seeable in HR. As the world is constantly changing, companies need to keep up. There is a lot of underlying strategic work and progressive planning that goes on in HR so that businesses can continue to grow its employees.
Okay, so what did we understand from this video?
That the role of HR isn't just like recruiting, is like many, like, like they have like many different like functions, like you know like compensation and like performance management, and uh learning and and like development of the employees.
Mm.
So succession planning and just like keeping like up to date with like HR data and analytics.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a kind of brief about all your course. So whatever we're studying, so how we started, what HRM was, and then we've been discussing all of these steps into smaller basic tasks.